A woman's skirt bursts at a wealthy man's house during a maid interview. The woman took off her coat and tied it around her waist. Although Louisa's resume was unremarkable, the small detail of covering her thighs gave her quite a few bonus points. The lady of the house no longer hesitated and hired the seemingly plain Louisa. But she didn't know that today was actually the most conservatively Louisa had ever dressed. The lady then told her that her salary was very high, and her job was simply to chat with and entertain her paralyzed son. Hearing this, Louisa was very happy. But the moment the door opened,
I'm Lou.
she was stunned. Louisa only then realized that this job was not easy. However, when the boss saw her torn skirt, he miraculously recovered and became a normal person.
You appear to have a problem with your skirt.
The next day, the boss looked very ill. Thinking it was another prank, Louisa was shocked to discover scars on the boss's wrist when the male nurse removed his clothes for perspiration. She couldn't understand why the boss, who already had billions in assets, would still harm himself, until one day, Louisa overheard an argument between Will's parents. She learned that the boss would leave this world in 6 months. The father chose to support Will's decision, but the mother strongly opposed it. At this moment, Louisa finally understood why her contract was only for 6 months. It was also the length of Will's life. No matter how high the salary, she was unwilling to accept a job that sent someone away from this world. But when she returned home, everyone cheered and jumped for joy because she had found a job. When they learned that Louisa wanted to quit, her sister persuaded her not only to persist, but also to try to use her unique charm to influence the boss and make him give up the idea of leaving this world. So the next day, she changed into a very strange outfit. The boss was initially only a little surprised. Unexpectedly, in the following days, Louisa was like an animal in heat, never repeating her outfits. But in the boss's eyes, it was so unsightly. From the photos at home, it could be inferred that before Will was paralyzed, he was a sports enthusiast who loved socializing, but now he had become a useless person who couldn't stand up. This sense of disparity made him learn to use sarcasm to protect himself. The girl endured the boss's taunts like this. Because of a mistake, Louisa spilled pumpkin porridge on the boss's crotch. Drying his crotch didn't melt his cold heart. The turning point finally appeared. Will's ex-girlfriend and best friend came to visit. The two were hesitant to speak, but in the end, they revealed the news of their romance. Will appeared very calm on the surface, but his heart was already extremely sad. Then Will locked himself in the room. Soon, the sound of shattering glass was heard. Quickly, Louisa pieced the shattered picture frame back together. In the face of the boss's personal attacks on her, Louisa decided to no longer be his punching bag. Louisa said she just desperately needed the money to take care of him. From then on, the boss's attitude towards her changed. To better understand this girl who tried hard to make him laugh, the boss invited her to watch a movie together. It was also at this time that the relationship between Will and Louisa began to change. In the days that followed, they also became closer. Seeing her reclusive son becoming more cheerful day by day, his mother thought that perhaps the girl could save her son. On this day, the euthanasia clinic replied that the boss's application had been approved. When Louisa found out, she felt that all her efforts had lost meaning, so she went to her sister again to express her troubles. Her sister said that she couldn't just leave like this, because this wasn't an ordinary job. Her sister suggested asking the boss's mother for a budget to make a hospital checklist and to find ways to let the boss enjoy the last moments of his life. Louisa only then realized one thing. She went to the library to understand the needs of people with disabilities, and her purpose was not only to let the boss die without regret. Louisa also had a bold idea.